So today's a very exciting day for me because I actually got my hands on the Major Dimension palette by Patrick Ta in the matte version. I've never owned any of his eyeshadow palettes. I've always wanted to. I feel like the color story of the other ones just didn't speak to me entirely. I love the first one, but the second one was a little bit too rose tone for my personal style. I'm very lately into a more smoky eye and I'm rarely using any shimmers. This one really spoke to me. I have chapters on the video for your viewing pleasure. First, I'm going to talk about the palette a little bit, then I'm going to do swatches, and then I'm going to do the demo where I did this eye look, and you get to see me kind of have a first impression on them. So for this palette, you get all matte. The top row, it's warm tones, and the cream one is a brown, a warm brown color. Then on the bottom row, you get more cool tones, I guess. I find them a little bit more neutral than cool toned, and a black. You get two blacks here, a powder black and a cream black. All of his palettes have like a little flappy thing that covers the creams. All of his palettes come with two cream shadows and then the 10 shades that are powder on the bottom. I truly love these right here. The palette does retail for $70. I know it's very pricey for someone to pay $70 on a palette, but these formulas are so easy to use, so blendable. It's like no effort is being made when you use these. I will say that it's worth it. I think it's a perfect everyday neutral eyeshadow palette. You're gonna probably be using this for all your eye looks. It's a solid base. You could definitely add an individual glitter on top if you wish. If you rather have a little bit of everything, then you could definitely go for the other palettes instead of this one that's all matte. For me, I love an all matte look. I just like my eye makeup to look a little bit more grungier. Adding shimmers sometimes tends to be a little bit too girly, too like sparkly. And I do have other shadow palettes that have a lot of sparkle. I have the Isamaya one, which is perfect. I think I'm good with those sparkles for now. The Makeup by Mario one is definitely a lot smaller. I hope you can see here the difference in the shades. I've given this one a lot of love. I use this on clients. Right off the bat, you can tell that this is a very orange, rusty tones matte eyeshadow palette. I feel like lately I've been gravitating towards cooler tones. I've kind of let go of this one a little bit because I don't know if warm tones will suit everybody. If you're more cool based on your skin tones, and you probably don't even like wearing these kind of tones on your skin tone. And I wish Makeup by Mario could come out maybe with a cool tone version of this palette. I don't want to always look so orange on the eyes. And I do feel like a lot of shades could be considered kind of repetitive or similar. This one, I don't find anything to look repetitive at all. I think it's a gorgeous color story, and I think a lot of people are going to gravitate towards this. This palette is actually a very old palette, but honestly, I used to think this palette was perfect. I got so excited when I bought it, and to this day, I love this top row. I use it all the time. I see a lot of similarities here. This is kind of funny to see. Maybe they should bring it back. Nonetheless, let's do the swatches. I'm gonna start with the light shade right here. Ooh, it feels so buttery. Wow. It's kind of even my skin tone. You can barely even see it, but it's there. I'm gonna go for the second one right here. You can see right there, that's the second shade. Now the third shade right there. That is such a very gorgeous orange tone right there. The other one, that is definitely a rust brown color. Very, very gorgeous. And the cream, ooh, so smooth, so pretty. That's the warm color story. I think it's pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the first color. Definitely a more white. So it's definitely gonna stand out a lot more on my skin tone than the other one. Second shade right here, absolutely gorgeous. I love this color. To me, this is gonna be the perfect transition. Now for this shade, perfect medium neutral brown. That color is great. Now I'm reaching for the darkest brown. These two right there are probably gonna be my most used shades. Perfect dark brown. Now the black one, which looks very deep. It's a very dark black. And the consistency of it feels a little bit different. It's definitely more crumbly, I think. But I think it's more of a buildable one rather than an intense black right off the bat. That's the black. Definitely buildable. I'm gonna go in for another one. So yes, you can build it up. So now I'm gonna swatch the cream black. It's definitely like greasy looking. I think it could look really, really good on its own, even if you don't care about creasing. We'll see. So if you think this black is not as deep as you want it to be, definitely layer them and you're gonna get an intense black payoff. I think these colors are perfect, everyday colors. I think it's gonna suit almost every skin tone. I really do like it. I'm not gonna keep going on and on. I'm gonna show you how I did this eye look and kind of like my first impressions. Let's get right into that. The packaging looks like this on the outside, pretty standard. This is the palette. I don't have any other palette from him. I've always wanted it, but I'm not a big shimmer kind of person. So when I heard this was launched, I was super excited. I have been using the Makeup by Mario palette, but sometimes I find the colors to be too warm. I've been digging the cool tones lately. This palette literally has both. Rather than cool tone, I guess it's more neutral tone. I still think that a full matte cool tone palette would be so amazing. I really want to do like a basic smoky eye. So I'm going to get a little bit closer to the camera, dipping on that one. I feel like the consistency is kind of not super wet. Definitely buildable too. I just added 2 layers there. And like I'm trying to like swipe it away and it stays there. So I guess like once it dries, it has pretty much staying power. That's nice. I thought the creams were going to be like super dewy and they were going to crease all over the place, and I don't think that's the case. I think this is a very great formula. So now I'm going to grab a blending brush and I'm just going to keep adding more color. I'm actually going to add this color just to cool it off a little bit because this brown is pretty warm. That's really pretty. It doesn't look patchy because sometimes when you put powder on top of cream, they tend to not blend very well or they get patchy, and that's not the case. The color is beautiful. It does provide some depth to the color, and we're gonna keep making it a little bit more in depth. So it's quite a small blending brush. It will definitely give me definition. That's cute. I just want to blend this area on the top here. Oh wow. Doesn't that look stunning? They are basically blending themselves. That is gorgeous. I really want to just deepen out this outer corner right there. So I'm gonna go in with the deepest, darkest brown in the palette, which is this one. That's really nice. I'm gonna grab my fluffy brush and I'm just gonna blend, 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 blend. Something I really want to do is define my lash line with the cream black eyeshadow. I'm gonna use a really small little brush there, and I'm gonna add the lash line only. I'm just gonna smudge it out a little bit. Is it me, or did that just blend so beautifully? Wow, that's perfect. It's like no effort. Wow, that looks so good. Let me do my other eye now. I absolutely love how that looks. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set it with a little bit of black. I'm gonna like amp up the lash line. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. That is the smoothest black and the perfect with the cream one. I'm gonna grab the darkest brown again because I wanna build up the intensity on the corner. Just wanna build up that intensity. This is smoky eye after all. Do I even have anything negative to say about this palette? I don't even think I do. I think it looks absolutely stunning and it's working flawlessly. I'm gonna grab more of a smaller brush because I want to use one of the light colors to kind of like define the lid. I think I'm gonna go for this second one first so I don't go too light. Let's see. Okay, on my skin tone, that's not that light. That wasn't that light, so I'm gonna go in with the first one. Right, so that did work. So I'm gonna go for the lower lash. I'm gonna go in with the first color. I kind of grabbed the light brown right there. I'm gonna blend it out. Did have black on this brush already. Kind of using what I had there mixed with this shadow. And with a little bit more black, I just wanna like define the lash line a little bit more again before we go in with mascara. I'm adding a little bit black powder on the bottom. All right, so let's do mascara and I'll be right back. Also wearing some Patrick Ta lipstick. So thank you so much for watching. I had a lot of fun creating this look. Honestly, this is really up my alley. I think these are my favorite eye looks. I wear them all the time. So if you want to see more looks, I can go a little bit heavier on the smoky eye for next time, or I could go even lighter. I could use more warm tones, whatever you want. Just let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys on the next one.